All right. So as we're talking about the Invitational, it is a sweet prize to win the Invitational. Not only is it bragging rights because it's just such a Hall of Fame stacked field, but the first place is $10,000 cash, an NHC entry, and that includes the $1 million bonus if you win the NHC. We had a couple players in last year and a couple of them that were in contention when they made that cutoff. And either the BCBC or Pegasus entry, you get first pick. Now, that second place pick will either take the BCBC or Pegasus in addition to an NHC entry. Same thing with third place. They'll have the Pegasus entry. And then there's cash prizes from 4th to 10th, whether it's cash, contest credits to play the Hawthorne tournaments, which obviously we'd like to see people back for the Hawthorne tournaments. It's just tons of fun.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to being a part of it. The coverage you've brought, obviously in Vegas just this past year, but I remember from last year too, it just looked like, people were very giving of their time and insight.
Yeah, and you mentioned the NHC coverage. Just like the NHC that we streamed live, we're going to stream the Hawthorne Invitational live. So make sure that you're following the channel, hit those subscribes, likes. That's going to be both on the Hawthorne and your space down at Horse Racing Nation. So 2 ways to watch. And the tentative time for that is 1 to 5. We still haven't decided on the mandatory races yet, so that time could change. But if you hit those reminders and the subscribes, the notifications should be able to update you. And Ed, you and I have the challenge that we are doing this. We're doing it live. Like there's no second takes. I've kind of bobbled a few of my words. That's just how it goes when it's live. But for me, it's another challenge. I was able to kind of learn from a little bit from last year, more on the production side. How are you feeling about it this year, doing the live hosting?
I would say I don't want to say nervous about getting participation from the players because I think they want what we want as well, grow the game, get people excited, but certainly on the fly, asking the right questions, not putting your foot in your mouth about their background or maybe a previous play that they might not want brought up is all part of it, but it's part of showcasing the personalities too. And to me, that give or take, that's the racetrack environment. That's what it's all about, talking horses. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. And, from somebody that watches a lot of content, that not only produces content and creates content, but watches it too, that's what I like. I love the authenticity of it. I don't mind if there's some stumbling and some playful back and forth and things like that. I think that's just kind of the way that things are moving in terms of the way content is being produced. And it's less of like the high production, and it is more of the like, this is the real people, right? This is who these people are, not just on the live stream, but in person. And as we're talking about in person, let's talk to Paul Calia, our 2022 NHC winner, who's going to be joining us this year in the Invitational, but has played Hawthorne tournaments in the past. Hey, Paul, thanks for joining us. How was your experience at the NHC and since the NHC?
It's very fun. You get to meet new people, and I've some of the people I sat with, we're still in contact. The first time I met him was in March in Vegas, and we still keep in contact. So it's really the camaraderie, and you're surrounded by the best handicappers in North America, and it's really it's a long grind. It's really tiring. By Sunday, it's pretty tiring.
So I know how that was. I wasn't even playing and I was tired. I've played in the past and know that kind of experience. But you mentioned the camaraderie from the people at your table and the friendships that we make. And I started playing tournaments over 10 years ago. And some of the people that I met, and that was when I was first starting out and I didn't really know anybody. Some of those people I'm still friends with today, and many of those people are going to actually be joining us for the Hawthorne Invitational. Do you have some friends or some people in this area that you're hoping to sit with, and in addition to meeting some new people?
I don't know. I've met some people, from that area and in Vegas, and I spoke to after I won the 2023 tournament. Obviously there's a lot of people introducing themselves to me, and I think I played in Hawthorne on the Saturday contest like 3 years in a row now, and I know how good these guys are. I mean, I'm under no illusion how good these guys are, and so I'm really looking forward to it.
2021, the winner was Justin Mastari, who's going to be playing in the Hawthorne Invitational, one of our local players in here. Do you feel that there's any type of, because you finished 10th, you were at the final table, you were within proximity. Do you feel like there's any competition that you want to turn the tables or, you know, battle the NHC? Because I know there are many multiple NHC winners. We have 6 NHC winners. Do you feel any type of rivalry or added pressure from that?
No, I just you know, like I said, I know there's so many good players from that area, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I actually like to. I like playing these cash contests. I think it's a good experience, and obviously it's totally different than the NHC, which is a win place. This is a totally different animal, and like I said, I like doing it for experience. I think it helps, you know, to be in these different formats, be in the cash games, you know, and I think it just helps overall. And you know, and then you know what it's like, what it takes to win cash games. To, you know, maybe might help me, you know, at other cash games, because I'll be playing in multiple cash games this year, and so it just, you know, experience, you know, just, you know, everything helps, you know, everything's a learning experience.
You mentioned when we were speaking before we came on that, you know, the preparation kind of really can't start till you open up those PPs and see the range of races, et cetera. What does that look like for you? Or you kind of survey the landscape of the whole day? Do you like to go race by race and take notes, and then sort of after the fact see where maybe your strong opinions are? How do you take that initial step when you know you have to basically handicap a whole day of racing at multiple tracks?
I look for the type of races that I feel like I'm better at. I'm a better dirt player, so I'll be looking at you know, stuff like that. You know, I like 6 furlongs on the dirt. I like, you know, long on the dirt, and turf sprints are probably my biggest weakness. And so, you know, so I'll be, you know, catering, you know, what I'm looking at when I go through the entries. I'll look and see what you know, what kind of stuff that I like. You know, obviously I want big fields, and so bang up sprinters is probably my favorite thing.
So when you mentioned looking for kind of bigger fields or those type of races that fit your handicapping strengths, and also mentioning that this being live money and a format that you're trying to gain experience from and improve from and learn from, what type of wagers are you looking for in those races? Do you tend to play multi-race, playing the exotics? What type of wagers flatter your style of play?
In last year's contest, I found a horse I really liked in the Ohio Derby, and and there was a horse I really liked in the race before, so I played like $100 straight double. The problem is that everybody else was playing it too, like, you know, $7 or something like that. So it was only like, you know, a $700 hit. Where, you know, if it would have been, if I could find more like a $30-$40 double, you know, and have it, you know, 40 times or something like that, that would be kind of something I would be looking at.
Just missed the Ohio Derby by a day this time, but we do get the Hawthorne Derby, which closes it out. Knowing that there is an actual like end, everyone's going to be on the same race to close it out. Will your approach to handicapping that particular race be any different? And unfortunately for you, it is a turf route, not on the dirt. So will you approach it differently, knowing it's not in your wheelhouse?
No. I mean, I can always come up with an opinion, whether it's the right opinion or not. You know, that remains to be
True
seen.
horse
But you know, depending on the situation, and you know, I'll just, you know, if you know, I'll just fire whatever needs to be fired. I'll fire it if I you know, if I can. But I'm sure there's not gonna be a problem with that with the Hawthorne Derby. I'll be able to come up with someone I like. I'm fairly positive.
Now, I know you mentioned the differences between the live money and the mythical, but what are the other differences from the Hawthorne Invitational? And then I know at the NHC, playing 2 entries and super impressive to get both those entries into the top 10, even top 5 by the end of it. Having 1 entry in the Hawthorne Invitational, do you see that as a disadvantage for your play, or what is the difference between having that 1 entry versus having the 2?
I don't look at it as a disadvantage. You know, obviously, you know, you have 1 entry, so you're going to be, you know, concentrating on that. basically I'm just going to try to find some spot plays, and usually I can come up with at least 2 or 3, 4 things that I like, somewhere on the card, and then I'll adjust my wagering based on the horses that I like. So I'm not sure if that's going to be good enough to win this type of contest, but it's I'm more of a vertical player, so I'm always looking for trifectas are my favorite play, and that's the thing. I'm always looking at trifectas and then doubles next.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. We've been in the same room before, but haven't quite made contact. At least I don't think so. So looking forward to that this year. Safe drive, and we'll see you coming up less than 2 weeks.
Thank you.